utterly ruthless in his determination to be the greatest Roman. Nothing will stand in his way.
He had no need of a kingly title. He had the power, he had the trappings, he had everything essentially that he wanted. He didn't need a mere word in order to satisfy his vanity.
For 2,000 years, the name Caesar has meant majesty and power. His life inspired the rulers of empires to call themselves Caesar, Tsar, Kaiser. Ruthless ambition fueled his climb to power. Caesar stopped at nothing to achieve his goals. Conquest and genocide were his political tools. His reign led to the death of a republic and the birth of an empire. As a young man, Caesar learned about the legendary founding of Rome. He was instilled with a deep pride for its history. Kings had been overthrown, a republic created, and the cities of Italy sucked into an ever-growing territory. Caesar was born into a prominent Roman family and was only 15 years old when he accompanied his father to the Forum, the seat of government in ancient Rome. It was an early taste of a life to come. As a member of the Roman ruling class, a political career was his destiny. In the 200 years before his birth, Rome had conquered Greece, Spain, southern Gaul, now modern-day France, and vast tracts of North Africa. It had made Rome very rich, but the speed of change made Rome politically unstable and treacherous.
It was violent, it was dangerous. I can't think of a front-rank politician in the whole century of the last century of the Republic who dies in his bed of natural causes. Assassination, suicide, death in war, you name it, everything comes that way. And if you were a major politician, that was the way you could expect to end.
The sudden death of his father, when he was still in his teens, made Caesar the head of his family. He needed a protector.
He had a very distinguished uncle by marriage in the form of Gaius Marius, who had achieved a position of immense importance in Roman politics and warfare. Marius was regarded as a champion of the underprivileged, a champion of particularly the poor peasantry of Italy and of the urban plebs of Rome, and he was a great favorite with them. And the attachment with Marius was extremely important for the young Caesar.
With the help and guidance of Marius, Caesar became a confident young man. Even as a teenager, his steely determination shone through.
The impression we get is that he's a very independent-minded individual. Caesar is always very meticulous about the way he appears, very vain, in fact. But he's already dressing in an unusual way, setting himself apart from his contemporaries.
When he was just 16, Caesar came to the attention of Sulla, then dictator of Rome, and enemy of Caesar's family. Caesar had made a political marriage. It was a union Sulla violently opposed, and one that could have cost Caesar his life.
It's remarkable that he stands up to Sulla. Sulla is an extremely ruthless individual. So it shows Caesar's astonishing determination. We've got to remember he's a late teenager at this point, nothing more.
Marius died, leaving Caesar vulnerable to Sulla's reign of terror. His life threatened, he fled Rome. In Asia Minor, Caesar used his exile to make his name in battle.
It was absolutely normal for young aristocrats to be expected to go and perform on the battlefield. Military service, indeed military life, was not distinct from civilian life as far as the Roman constitution or the setup of the whole Roman state was concerned. So military service and military achievement were things that a great deal of store was set by.
Caesar spent 4 years on campaign and proved himself a brilliant young soldier. But rumors of a romantic alliance surfaced. The object of his affections, it is claimed, was a man, King Nicomedes of Bithynia.
Such rumors were fairly common in Roman society, and they were very difficult to disprove, of course. So, although it was a fairly unattractive rumor, I don't think it vexed Caesar too much at the time, though he got quite annoyed later on in his life when it got raised again and thrown in his face.
Caesar returned to Rome when Sulla died in 78 BC. Increasingly renowned for his skill and bravery in battle, he was decorated with a corona civica. It was time for Caesar to pursue his political ambitions. He deliberately cultivated key allies in the violent world of Roman politics, including Pompey, a brilliant young general, and Crassus, one of Rome's wealthiest politicians. Caesar became a lawyer, and over the next few years championed the rights of ordinary Romans. He knew that the votes of the people would be the key to his future success. He had his sights set on the first step on the political power ladder, Pontifex Maximus, High Priest of Rome, but it came at a price.
It's remarkable that he managed to secure that position, and he does it by massive expenditure of money, not his own money. In fact, he's supposed to say to his mother as he's setting out to the election for Pontifex Maximus, either I shall return Pontifex Maximus or I won't return at all. So stretched is he financially. But once he's secured that position, he's one of the elite of Rome. He's hit the big time.
Crassus had bankrolled his successful bid for high priest, but Caesar knew that military victories were what really counted in Roman politics. Caesar won a lucrative posting as governor of Spain, where he conquered and subdued the northwest of the province. Back in Rome, Caesar was now famous both as a soldier and a speaker. And on his return in 60 BC, he was elected as one of the two heads of Roman government. Caesar was now a consul of Rome. But his popularity with the Roman people made Caesar's enemies increasingly nervous. The Senate became a political battlefield where all Caesar's ideas for change would be challenged.
Caesar, at this point, makes an important deal known as the First Triumvirate, safe in the knowledge that he will be consul, but confident that he can expect to be hindered at every turn during his consulship. He makes this deal with Pompey and Crassus to the effect that he will ensure for them their requirements, basically, politically, provided he enjoys their support in forcing his legislation through against the will of the Senate.